This is the SwishWire podcast.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the SwishWire podcast. This is another episode of March Madness Mania, and I'm here with my co-host Mitchell
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
and Jay.
What's good?
So today we have two very special guests from Grand Canyon. Please welcome sophomore Gabe McGlothan and senior Mikey Dixon. What's up, guys?
What's up? Appreciate you
How's
having
it
me.
going?
Thank you for being here. So we're just gonna get right into it. Mitchell, you want to start us out?
Yeah. So first of all, thank you both for coming out. It really means a lot to get the perspective from you two. For Gabe, I just want to start off with, so you've had plenty of big games in your career, even up until now. You ended up winning championships at both Punham Science Academy and Basha High School, and now at Grand Canyon. So how does the big game experience sort of prepare you for, the biggest game of your life? Do the lights, does it get to you, or is it just another day-by-day thing?
I think it's just motivating, to be honest. I mean, we want to be put in this situation. I mean, just growing up, you always dream of being in the tough situations, the tough games where it comes down to the wire, or the big games that claim you as a winner. So really just being in another one of those opportunities, it's like you gotta, you put in the work, you just want to go out there and win. That's the ultimate thing. It's like, forget all the noise, forget the bright lights. I mean, the work that you put in the off time, the times when the lights weren't on, like, this is where it shines. And you just compete, you just want to win, and it's that desire, and that kind of goes for really everything. I mean, if you do that, I believe you have the winning spirit, and you just want to get it done.
Perfect.
It's obviously different in college than high school, but you won in high school, and you know what it takes to win games. And now, putting in that work, you're going to know what it takes to win even bigger games now that you're in the tournament. So, I mean, that's what I love to hear.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, definitely. I mean, for sure. I mean, it's a big difference from high school prep, and then also college. I mean, winning. I mean, there's obviously a lot more talented guys. I mean, teams are in college are picked from, the best high school players.
Yeah.
So it's just raising to that level and seeing, like, man, like, how can I find my own niche in, like, the game, and see where you can impact. And ultimately, I think it's just whatever team works better together. So it's like, yeah, I could be a great player one-on-one, but if me, Mikey, and like all the other guys, if we're all firing on the same level, then it's like, man, like, who could stop all of us on five, like all five of us all together, So it's just who's the better team, and it's the practice that we put into it. So it's down to a science, I'll tell you that.
Gotcha. And just to branch off of that, Mikey, you feel like this stage, the bright lights and everything, that's just another way to amp you guys up as a team? Is this just another way to motivate you guys?
For sure. I think like Gabe mentioned, we all just growing up, just dream about being in this position, to be able to play in the tournament. And, I just think it's very motivating, and it's exciting. So I just think we just excited to go out there and compete and win the game, most importantly.
Perfect. That's the mentality you got to have for this.
Gabe, you're always playing with a lot of energy. We've seen that you're a double threat night in and night out. You're always all over the boards. What is it that makes you so dominant in the paint?
It's just really just kind of having that relentless, like, just always give it all you got every time you're out on the court. Because, I mean, you never know when you're gonna get an opportunity, or your opportunity may end, and you just never know. So it's like, go out there, give it all you got. And my role on the team, I believe, is that energy guy. You got the first group of guys going in and just really, like, pounding them hard, and then I believe it's like my role to come in and, like, help raise that or keep it at the same, or just try to get better. So just really to go in there and just bring a lot of energy and try to out hustle, outwork, and do the little things that work. So yeah.
One of the things that, I don't know if this was the appropriate comparison, but the A line, demoralizes them, and then you're there to put the nail in the coffin. You're there to suck the life out of the rest of them. They're going to be like, oh, we have a break. No, the intensity's kicking right up. It's back to 10. You don't got to worry about any of that. That's what I was going to say, is you always bring that intensity, but it's never like, just, there's not another gear to switch to. It's always on that gear. You're always there to just put that neck on the throat kind of thing. So that's perfect for that.
No, that's perfect. I mean, everything you just said, that's exactly right. Because it's like, man, they think they get a break from Asbjorn, our 7-footer, It's like, no, like now we're just gonna kill you a different way, just
Yeah.
try to tire you out, everything like that. Never ease up on the gas pedal. So yeah, and it's like just really my role, I feel like, is just do whatever the team needs, whatever the team's needing, whether that's rebounds one night, or it's whether just, make sure I box out my guy and Mikey comes down and rebounds for me. So it's just sacrifices,
And you guys, you outwork and you're more physical than other guys, and teams don't get breaks when the bench unit comes in. And Mikey, what you bring also, you bring experience. You're a senior and you've been around the college scene for a while. You first stopped at Quinnipiac where you were freshman of the year, and then St. John's where you were a key piece in an NCAA tournament team. So what finally brought you to Grand Canyon? It seems like you finally found a home.
Yeah, I have, and I'm glad I came here. What brought me here was just like the overall, culture of the school and the hype around the basketball program. How much support that we get night in and night out, especially at our home games, and even on the road too. Like we just had our conference tournament in Vegas, and the stands were just flooded with purple in the stands as if we were in Phoenix. So like you just don't get that at a lot of schools, or at least the schools that I've been at. So I think that was really like the biggest thing for me coming to Grand Canyon.
Yeah. Just to follow up on that, like it's just like night and day for that stuff. Like just for your experience with St. John's to now, like is it like a huge culture shock for that stuff? Like you're seeing in rival schools, you're getting people like shouting your names, cheering for you and everything like that.
Yeah.
So like is that just a piece that you take back from that? Like you can notice that this is way different?
It's pretty cool. But at the same time, playing at St. John's, we play some of our games in Madison Square Garden.
Oh yeah.
So so that was a real cool experience. But other than that, when we played our regular games like on campus, it was nowhere near. It was nowhere near as like how Grand Canyon is. Probably not. It's probably few schools in the country that can match that intensity on the home court every night. As far as just the environment with the fans, the enthusiasm, just the energy level that's in the building. But playing in the Garden was a very cool experience too as well.
Yeah.
For Mikey, I mean, like you've been around the college scene a lot, obviously. So like, has it been tough to transition from system to system, and now you're in Grand Canyon, obviously, which is your home, or was it easy?
It wasn't. I wouldn't say it was easy, but that's any with anything in life, you gotta get adjusted to it. You know what I'm saying? It's not just basketball. So I would say more than like just bigger from a basketball standpoint, it just helped me with life in general. You know what I'm saying? Like in life, you're gonna have to learn how to adjust to new things, new systems. But far as basketball goes, I've been playing basketball my whole life. So like I can kind of grasp like different coaching techniques or coaching styles, I would say. So it hasn't been very difficult, but I just had to focus, lock in on it, and I think what we're doing here is good. We're winning, so I just brought into it, and the rest of my teammates brought into what we're doing this year at Grand Canyon.
Mm-hmm. You have all that experience, and now you can fit into any system you play in, and you've done that in your college career.
Just about, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things I was going to ask you again, Mikey, yeah, you have the experience, and I know a year doesn't really like separate a lot, but do you take any guys under your wing? Do you show Gabe some ropes once in a while, tell him what it's like to be a senior kind of thing, or is it just everybody is a unit?
I would say it's more of a unit. You know what I mean? Far as this team, like everybody's cool. It's a family style. We enjoy like playing with each other, being around each other on the road. So it's not really taking any particular one person under the wing. It's just like it's everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody is giving advice, or everybody's laughing and joking. It could be a senior telling somebody one thing, or it could be a freshman telling a older guy something. We all just, and I think that's what makes us such a unique team, and why we were able to have the success that we had this season.
So it's not like just 1-2 guys doing it; it's the whole team.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, that's an amazing quality to have for your team. So now we're gonna transition into some questions for the both of you. So we're gonna start off with one that we like to ask a lot of people. So a lot of guys have this play or game or something like that where they knew they were legit. They know, I belong on the court, I belong on the hardwood. So do you guys have a play or anything really where you knew you were legit? Gabe, we'll start with you.
Dude, not really. I mean, it's just coming in with that mentality, like you want to win, no matter who you're going against. So it's like if I was playing against guys in the league right now, it's like, man, like I just want to win. I don't care who you are. Like I think we're all even. Like, yeah, you may be able to do some other things I can't do, but like I'll hustle you. I'll do whatever. I'll bring the energy. So it's just really like kind of bringing out that dog. It's like, if you don't think I belong here, like I know for a fact.
I got nothing. Yeah, I got nothing to prove. I proved to myself that I belong here. Don't worry about my name, my accolades, any of that. It's just playing who's in front of you, kind of thing. That's the perfect.
Exactly.
Mikey, how about you?
Yeah.
Can you say ask the question again? What's the question?
Yeah, was there like a moment where you knew that you belonged, that you were legit, that you could play at this next level? Because a lot of dudes in high school, they get weeded out, like the AAU circuit, they don't make it to the next level, they don't get the scouting. So like obviously you've made it to this level. Was there a point where you thought that, oh yeah, I belong, I can battle with the dogs out here?
That's an interesting question. I mean, I don't like just playing as much basketball as we do. Like sometimes you don't even really like. I don't know. You just get programmed and just think like I'm a basketball player. This is what I do. And you just get caught up in it. You don't even really think about like things or moments like that. So I can't really give you like a straight up answer on that. Like I just, just playing. Like I just been like I said, I've just been playing basketball since I could remember. So it's just like, I mean, this is kind of like this is the only sport I ever played. This is all I know, and this is like what I love to do. So it's like. I never really needed no like reassurance from like a specific game or specific play or like even from a reporter, anybody. Just like it's like this is what I want to do. I know I worked hard at it all my life, so every time out I just go out there and I just like give it my all regardless.
Yeah,
You guys have just both had this dog mentality your whole life, and it just fits into this completely, and you guys are where you are now because of that mentality.
Yeah, and I would say it's like, of course, there's been times where it's like, man, like, do I belong out here? But it's really just like a mindset, It's like,
yeah.
I feel like if you're worried about like, man, do I fit in here? It's like you're focused on yourself and you're not focused on like winning or anything like that. But like, if you're solely focused on the goal, like that will take care of itself. Like you don't have to worry about like if you fit. Like, just go win a ball game and then that'll work your way into it. It'll really show your value instead of being intrinsically thinking.
That's the main goal.
I think,
like. You could go, Michael.
No, I think that's the best way Gabe could have put it. Like that's perfect. Like if you just go out there, it's not a coincidence. Coaches tell us all the time, like the ball finds hustle. The ball going into the basket sometimes even finds hustle. You know what I mean? Like so, if you just go out there and hustle and want to win, like Gabe said, all the other like personal like personal play or how you want to play or like for the most part, that's gonna take care of itself, like you said.
The goal is to win. There's no excuses. Just hustle, play physical, and you'll win. So I feel that.
You guys have been around the game for a while, and you've clearly played at an elite level for some time now. So who is the best player, and not including your current teammates, that you've ever gotten to play alongside? We'll start with you on this one, Michael.
Just like all time or
anytime.
Like
it could be high school, anywhere.
I'm not even sure, honestly. Can you come back to me?
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
That is a tough one.
Tough.
So when I was younger, I played with some talented guys. Played with Marvin Bagley.
That's a good one.
Yeah, so he's definitely one that like kind of grew up around all this stuff. I mean, he started changing like AAU teams from the early jump, so it wasn't like I was playing with him long, but yeah, like we still know each other, all that stuff, so it's not bad. But and then when I was at Putnam Science, I played with two really good a guard, Kyle Lofton, who's actually in the tournament right now for St. Body, and then another teammate who is Oshuno Shuni, who's a great shot blocking big, brings energy, and he also plays for St. Bonnie's. So those guys, but yeah, I mean, there's just been a lot of guys that were really talented in their own different ways. So I mean, yeah, sometimes it just got showcased, sometimes it didn't. But yeah.
You got one for us now, Mikey, or no?
I'd probably say probably at St. John's. My time at St. John's, probably Shamari Pons. I don't know if you guys know him or not, but he was pretty tough. He was a New York kid, He was probably the toughest player I played against or with.
Mhm.
Yeah, and no hard feelings out there for anybody who they didn't listen.
Yeah. Also, yeah, probably him and Marcus Levet. Honestly, those probably the two best guards I played with.
I feel that. Now, on the flip side of that, of course, we're going to ask you who's the best player you've ever played against. Now, I think Gabe's got a solid answer for this one, so I'm going to give it to Mikey first.
Does practice count or no? Cause I would just say those two.
Anything.
If it was a YMCA in the middle of Texas, doesn't matter. Whoever you thought was the hardest dude to play against.
That's tough. That's tough. I'm not sure about that one.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I'll let Gabe answer it first.
Yeah, I like this question because it's always fun to like compete. Like I'd rather go against like people who are better than have like people on my team or whatever. You know, does that make sense?
Just add fuel to the people in the tournament right now. Might list some of them. You know.
Yeah. So I don't know. There's been a few. I mean, if we talk about like just pickup and stuff like that, like in the summer, like when you're trying to get better and train, like I played against Devin Booker, played against DeAndre Ayton, John Morant when I was at Southeast Missouri. He was at Missouri State. Dylan Windler, he's in the league too.
He's a sniper.
Yeah. Alex Barcelo, who's at BYU. Saban Lee, who just was at Vanderbilt and now on the Pistons.
Yeah.
So there's been guys, and I'm probably missing a few, but I mean, it's just Marcus Bagley, down at ASU. Same with Holland Woods, all this stuff. So I mean, there's just a lot of guys that are very, very, very talented that I've been blessed to play against and have the opportunity to guard.
Well, it sounds like you cut your teeth on the right kind of guys though, because it's definitely translated for you.
All of them can hoop, and like we know, Deep Book, Ja, Aiden, they could hoop. But Saban Lee, he's been hooping on the Pistons. He's been great.
He has, and he deserves it too. I mean, he's been working hard. His dad, I mean, is a very talented coach as well. I remember growing up with AU ball with him. So actually, I played with him too. But like just seeing that man be able to chase a dream and achieve it and like do well and like actually earning his spot in the league right now, like it's crazy. So good for him.
Mikey, you got anyone?
Yeah, I'll probably just say probably Marcus Levet. Honestly, that's my boy forever. Probably playing him in pickup practice. As far as guarding, yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, so you guys have obviously went up against some elite talent on every level, and right now, I mean, you guys. Speaking of elite, I mean, defensively this year, you guys have made your money on that end completely. I mean, in your conference, you lead in most defensive metrics. So do you prepare the same way defensively for Iowa on Saturday, or is it just business as usual?
Yeah. I mean, we do. I mean, our coaches are very, very talented. I mean, we've had two coaches in the Big Ten, so they know a little bit about Iowa as well. So they just go with the game plan and then put us in the positions. Then we just try to execute as best we can. So, that's definitely a focal point we got, but we're not really changing much. It's just, a shift of the game plan depending on the personnel.
Yeah, so who's a player that you guys say you mold your game after, someone that you watch at any level and think that you want to add them to your game? We'll start with you, Gabe.
So a lot of people say I play like Blake Griffin a lot with the, he's athletic, has energy, was just kind of like that junkyard dog for a lot of his career. And then also our builds are kind of similar. So that was a little bit of it. And but looking at the league now, it's like, I want to get more of a Ben Simmons, be able to grab the ball, push it, all that stuff. And just really there's a lot of different pieces that I want to pick and pull. I mean, Giannis has some stuff that I'd want to get. I mean, same with Ben Simmons. Those are two kind of similar ones.
Yeah.
But then also shooting wise, Kevin Love, like all this different stuff. So it really just depends. So
I saw a lot of guys in you. Like I couldn't myself pull one guy. I saw Blake, his athleticism, and in the post I saw Montrezl Harrell, his energy. I saw just a bunch of different attributes about you. Mikey, what about you?
I'll probably say Lou Williams.
There we go. Sweet
That's
Lou.
a good one.
Yeah,
That's a great one.
I'd probably say like our build is kind of the same, like slender. Scorers can shoot, floaters. You know what I'm saying, all 3 levels. Probably say
Uh,
McGlothan.
Oh yeah, it's got the little wiggle in him. You got that too. Not
Yeah.
afraid to get around, guys. I see that. So I mean, obviously made the D1 jump about 8 years ago, and this is the first time that Grand Canyon has made the tournament for it. What is it about this team right now? Like you guys talked about being a family, you guys talked about that cohesion and stuff, but I think a lot of people think you have a legit shot at being that Cinderella story, that, the age old, the upset, the upset, the upset, the after upset, and then boom, there you are. Sweet 16, the final eight, like what do you guys think about this squad right now? Are you a family that's ready to go all the way for it? Like, do you believe that this is the year for it?
Yeah, like I think we got all the pieces, like we said, we're a family. We like being around each other, but besides all that, like I think we're a pretty good basketball team. You know what I'm saying? Like I think we got all the pieces. We got bigs, we defend, we got shooters, we have a bench. So um, I just think we got all the pieces, and like you said, we're ready to go. Like we're trying to win this game. You know what I mean? All our coaches, we
Yeah.
got the mindset like we're going to this game. We're not just happy that we made it here. Like we want to win. We want to win, and
Yeah.
it starts on Saturday.
Yeah, I hate wording it like that because you have to go in every game knowing that you're the best on the floor, knowing that you could take whoever's in front of you. But it's just the idea of being like, we can knock off these dudes who just constantly get talked about, who are in the media spotlight, and then boom, you're no longer slept on. All of a sudden, you got the attention. So, Gabe, is that something that you look forward to? Is the upsets, or is it just playing who's in front of you?
Just playing us who's in front of you. There's aspirations to go far, especially with the time that's like in the future as well. But it's like right now, it's like we got one game ahead of us, and that's all we're really focused on. I mean, we know we can compete in them with them because it's like we played ASU, had them early on in the season, just dropped it a little bit because Remy Martin hit a corner three that just
The
went in
backbreaker,
somehow. Backbreaker, yeah. So there was that, and then there was Colorado State, who we played, or not Colorado State, but Colorado Boulder, who we played really well to the wire, and then they just broke it up in the last second for free throws and everything like that. And then also we beat Nevada. So it's like that wasn't even when we were playing our best basketball, but yet we still took some top teams to the wire. So it's
Yeah,
like
you dance with the best, and I think like, not to say that it's being slept on, but like some noise is about to be made, and people are about to be upset when their brackets are busted. That's all I'm gonna say.
no,
And,
yeah,
and you
definitely.
guys, like, we talked about it before, like when the second unit comes in, there's no breaks. I mean, you already get killed by the starters. Second unit comes in, it's even worse. I mean, you're going to kill them even more. And we just talked about Arizona State and Colorado, and you were in it. You were in it the whole game. And, do you feel like those games, since they were close, do you think it prepares you for what's to come now in the biggest game of the season?
Yeah, mentally, I believe so. Just because it's like, being a team that's kind of unheard of for, most of the nation or whatever, just not so much on the radar. It gives us like a different type of mentality, being like, yeah, like we belong up here. We stuck in these games. It's like, we can go in there without being nervous or anything like that, and just really go out there and play our ball. And if we play our ball, like it's gonna be a great game, and it's gonna be ours.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mikey, do you feel like, that chip on your shoulder helps you play, or this is it? Like you've arrived at the peak of the peak and you're just here to ball?
I definitely feel like that chip on the shoulder, it helps us, or helps me, like it's good motivation, just to like we made it here now, but now like we're not like satisfied with that. Like Gabe said, we wanted to show people like that we belong here and we can win games, and we're a good basketball team, like I said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, like, you're just there. I mean, you're there to win, and there's nothing different about that. You just want the end goal to win, and that's all you're focused on. So, right now we're just gonna segue into another topic. Some just basically questions like advice, things like that. So, Jay, you want to get us started off?
Yeah, what's the best piece of advice that you guys have ever received that you think someone else could benefit from hearing? We'll start with you on this one, Gabe.
Yeah. So it was actually in high school with my high school coach. I was basically, I think a sophomore or junior, and I was really trying to expand my game. I was like, man, I want to go out in the perimeter because at that, I'm 6'7", so at that 6'7", 6'8". So at high school, it's like I'm a center, right? And it's like
Yeah.
at the next level, I have to be out in the perimeter. I'm gonna have to chill out there a little bit more. And so I was actually trying to get a shot down, get a little bit more of a handle, and uh, I was actually forgetting like all the things that made me a good player in the first place. So it's like he gave this advice where it was like, you know what, never forget where your gold's buried, and always keep that a part of your game.
Ooh.
And so that was something I always really kept, and it's like held with me now. I mean, I'm still expanding my game a little bit, but it's like I'm never going to forget where my roots are.
Oh yeah,
So
like your strengths are your strengths. You can add on them, but your rooted stuff is the stuff that you can always fall back on. I feel that.
exactly, and it's like, you know, what's going to get you going during a game? What's gonna get you going? Like, for a lot of people, it's offense, all this stuff, but for me, it's like, man, like being able to slide over, help on defense, just bringing energy or grabbing a board, like that will start your game and get you comfortable again. And if you're ever going through a drought or anything like that's something you can fall back on, where you know where you can really excel. And so, like for an example, like Blake Griffin, I think, I mean, I love him. I'm a fan of his, but you know, in the early on years when he was with the Clippers, like he was that junkyard dog, all that stuff. But now, I mean, he's on the Nets now. When he was with the Pistons, it was like he kind of forgot all about that, and his stock dropped. You know, so that's like an example of that. So it's like just never forget where your gold's buried.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Blake, I mean, like for that season, I mean, like he had a really, really great year, even though he switched up. But now, I mean, like he, as you said, like don't forget your strengths. I mean, like because at that point, I mean, you're going to be a completely different player, and he was, and it worked out at first. But I mean, because of a lot of stuff that happened, I mean, he wasn't. So, Mikey, what about you?
My advice was also from my high school coach, you know, and it was just he told me he always used to tell me, you know, run your own race, meaning like you know, don't compare your journey or any your journey to anyone else's. You know what I mean? Everything happens, you know, in God's timing, and just keep working, and you know you'll be fine. But you know when you start trying to compare, you know, like if you got friends, they, you know what I mean, like, they might have made it to different levels, or just any case, you know what I'm getting at, or awards, anything like that. You know, just run your own race. Don't get discouraged and just keep working, because like everything happens. Everybody's timing is different. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking some of these for yearbook quotes, man. That's meaningful. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, for real.
Like you could be a shooter, a really good shooter, and be impactful on that end, but you see another guy with handles like, oh, I wish I had handles like that, and just get all caught up in that. But I mean, like as Gabe said, I mean, like you're forgetting where you came from. So I mean, I feel like those two things they tie into each other because I mean,
Mm-hmm.
like comparing yourself to other people, comparing traits you're not as good at. I mean, you're gonna forget everything about that. And that's gonna drop everything down.
Exactly.
All right. I mean, so I wanted to ask both of you guys. Obviously, you guys hit the weight room. You're constantly physically engaged. Is there anything you do on the mental side? Do you guys like read? Is there like a hobby you guys do? What type of music you listen to just unwind, get in a good mindset? Because physically, it's important. Obviously, rest, sleep is great for you, but you got to have a good mind up here, a healthy state to be in games. So, what's something that you guys like to do to sort of get your mind off of that stuff?
Yeah, for me, you know, I like to stay tapped into. I'm a Christian, so it's like stay tapped into the Lord's word
Oh
and
yeah.
everything like that. So reading over the Bible, you know, daily. It's part of my pregame ritual. You know, read it also then, so like twice a day then, and just get reminded that whatever the Lord's speaking on your heart, like that He's there with you. And so it's like, even though the busyness of life, it's like take some time and you know just get tapped in with the source and let that reset you. Let that be able to fuel you for the future. And you know that's a big part for me. What if not that? It's like just listening to music. I mean, Christian music is one of the big things for me. I mean, I like just sit there, you know, I don't know, just very, very peaceful, move in peace and all that stuff. So it's just mainly all that.
I mean, yeah, you can get tapped back into your upbringings and stuff. That probably cools you straight back to what you need to be. Mikey, anything you do mentally or stuff that you like to, mess around with to get in the zone?
I just listen to music. Think about my family. That's a big thing. You know, I just think about my family, listen to music. That's pretty much it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I could personally relate to both those things. I mean, I'm not an athlete. I'm not in the March Madness like you guys, but I mean, like everyone has different ways of doing it. And I mean, I'm Christian. I feel the same way about that. I mean, it changes a lot of things around. And then for music, I mean, you could just sit there, zone out, chill. Like when you get the time to just relax. I mean, like everyone has such different ways of doing it. I mean, it could even be like going outside, getting some more shots. It could be anything. And I mean, like, there's just so many different ways to do it. So now we're going to transition into our last segment. It's a fun segment. We like to do it with everyone. We're just going to ask a few questions about the NBA. So I'll start off. As of the season, like if the season ended today, who do you think should win MVP? I'll start with you, Mikey.
I haven't really been watching the NBA as much as I should, but that's a tough one. I heard like Chris Paul. I watched one of Chris Paul games, and I would say like it might sound crazy, but I would go with Chris Paul, honestly.
That's not crazy because the impact that he's made is just nuts.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We saw it with OKC too last year.
Yeah, and I'm going at it from like a point guard standpoint, you know, especially when you come to a team and you're a point guard, like you're supposed to make an impact. You know, if you're doing your job, if you're being a good point guard, a good floor general, you're supposed to make an impact. And like you said, like the impact that he made over there in Phoenix, I would probably pick Chris Paul.
Personally, I don't have him there, but I mean, I see why. I mean, like the Suns, I mean, but they did go on that bubble run, but I mean, like Chris Paul, I mean, like he's changed them around. I mean, they're almost the 1 seed. My Wizards beat the Jazz tonight, so they're 1 game closer. But I mean, he's been so impactful to them. So, Gabe, what about you?
Yeah, I'm about the same with Mike, where I'm not watching much of NBA right now, but my man Luka, he's doing well. Luka Doncic. I mean, he's definitely he's getting himself up there and up there quick. So I mean, I'll really be rooting for that one. But I mean, Jokic, I know has the stat line and everything like that. Completely changes the whole dynamic of everything. But I don't know if he's just that type of caliber like MVP. I don't know about that. But it's either Luka or Jokic for me.
I got Jokic, so I agree with that.
Luka Legend has been absolutely phenomenal, and it's good to see like young guys, especially, you know, when they reel it in and they get really scary, and you're like, wow, this dude in 5 years is going to just be exploding. So it's not really, I mean, we can talk about, you know, playoff, whatever, but for the finals, is there a team that either of you guys just, not that you root for, but, you know, if they got there and they won, wouldn't be too mad about? What about you, Gabe? What's a team that if they won the finals, what would you think?
You know, the Suns, you know, be local. They're on the come up. I mean, they're up there too. They're doing well.
They're doing really ridiculous this season. Yeah.
So it's like if they got up there, you know, I wouldn't be mad. Put some banners up in you know, the Talking Stick Arena. But yeah, that'd be crazy. I just really like that. That'd be dope.
Get CP3 that ring before he retires. He needs it.
On his way out, got that ring. What about you, Mikey? Is there a team that you think making the finals would just make your day?
Not really, no. Honestly, no.
I feel that.
Let's rephrase it. What are your predictions for who will win the finals this year, Gabe?
Oh, who will win?
Yeah.
I'm sticking with my Suns. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Gotta have faith in them. They're taking out the Lakers, all that stuff. So it'll be the Lakers and the Nets. Or the Suns and the Nets.
It's good to have that faith in your team.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, sir.
What do you think, Mikey? Who do you got making the finals and winning this year?
I'll probably say the Lakers and the Nets. And I got the Nets winning it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've got the going 7. It's close though.
I got one last question for you guys. Mikey, I'll start with you. Who is the best basketball player of all time?
Michael Jordan.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What about you, Gabe?
I got to give respect to Kobe. That Mamba mentality. That Mamba mentality was different. So if you wanted a bucket, he'd get it for you. You wanted to win the game, he'd dub it for you. Just clutch.
Do you think LeBron can be the GOAT before he retires?
No.
I don't know.
Everybody's got that same answer for LeBron.
I mean, he's more of a Magic Johnson type. He's a Magic Johnson GOAT, I guess, if you want to put it like that. But all time, like doing, I don't know. There's just different. There's different. But Kobe's, for me, the all-time GOAT.
I feel that. Both great answers. So we're gonna wrap it up here. Gabe, Mikey, it was just amazing hearing your guys' input about the tournament, about how you guys train, all of that. And it was amazing to hear all that. So we're gonna be watching you guys not only just for the tournament, but for the future. And we wish you the best of luck. And hopefully you guys are the Cinderella team. And we really do think you could be that. So thank you guys for coming on. This has been the SwishWire podcast, and peace.